He's back. That's right. Aleister Black is back. We're going to talk some more stuff about Smackdown here. DA Wrestling. Yes, I'm Andrew. Yes, I am wearing my Leaf jersey because, yes, we are. Leafs playoffs, possibly sweep tonight here in Toronto. There you go. Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's get going. DA Wrestling. Let's get on. All right. On today's show, honestly, Aleister Black is back. There's a new U.S. champion in the female division. Guess who it is? Right? Crazy TLC match there to end the show. Absolutely insane. Right? We had a debut, right, from NXT up. Right? We have a new number one contender for the men's U.S. title match against Jacob FATU. Boy, guess who that is. Right? And also, looks like maybe down the line we're going to get a full match of two of the probably the hottest women on the roster. And I'm not talking really cute. But anyway, before we get started here on there, SmackDown recap and all this stuff in a nutshell, right? This Canadian content here, Andrew Purcell. Right, I ask you guys, please, if you'd like to subscribe, like, follow on Podbean as well, on YouTube. Appreciate all that stuff there. All the support you guys give us, we thank you very much. So let's get going, though. All right. As I said at the beginning of the show, yes, I am wearing my Leaf jersey there. It is an older one. Don't knock it. It's a Wendell Clark. Especially for all you Leaf fans out there, Toronto fans out here in Canada. We're the Leaf jersey, folks. It's an older one. I got a newer one though upstairs too. But hey, it's the older version because you know what? I felt like the older version today. Anyway, Aleister Black is back in WWE. It's a great thing to have. Aleister Black was probably one of my favorites when he was in NXT. I loved him also in AAW when he was Malachi Black. So it looks like he went back to the Aleister Black here because obviously that's a WWE one. Right? Came with the same music, which is awesome. Right? Looks like he will be feuding for a little bit with The Miz. Just for a little bit. I'm assuming. Can't imagine it being that long. Right? But Aleister Black is back. He looks good. Definitely different from when he left WWE to when he debuted in AEW to what you see now. He's a lot more fit, a lot more healthy. You can tell, a lot concerned more about his diet. It's great to see, right? A lot more tattoos too, by the looks of it. Looks like he got a couple since he left AEW. So hey, he black masked The Miz last night. Didn't say anything. Doesn't have to, right? People were generally excited to see Aleister Black. Some people I've seen online say it's a little over underwhelming. Cares? What do you want to come up with fireworks and all that jazz too? Nobody cares. It's Aleister Black. The character doesn't call for that stuff. Hopefully now he didn't get a chance to do a lot of stuff on the main roster the last time, right? Obviously because that whack job was in charge. But that whack job's not there anymore. It's Triple H. He was under Triple H in NXT. Hopefully this is a better turnout for him here. Hopefully he does get a nice good shot at a U.S. title, maybe even a world title. We'll see what goes on, how far they're willing to push Aleister Black. I'm looking forward to it. I've always been a fan of Aleister Black, Tommy End, Malachi Black. So I'm very excited to have Aleister Black back in WWE. And yeah, you know what? Hey, let's see where this goes here. Let's see if we can kick Drew's head off. Just for the sake of it. I mean, I love Drew McIntyre, but hey, let's see if we guys can, kick his head off. Me. And then wonder too, are they going to roll back the Cody stuff they did in AEW? That's a possibility too. Because I'll be honest with you, when he debuted in AEW, and he smiled and they kicked Cody's head off, that was great. I like Cody, it's been well documented on here, but seeing Aleister Black back, you gotta wonder if they're going to throw that one back a little bit. They might. We'll see down the line. All right. Moving on to Zelina Vega's the new Women's U.S. Champion. That's right. Aleister Black comes back. His wife wins the title. Yeah, I wonder if there's a little collusion there, since seems to be the word of the day going on the internet there, especially the NFL draft that just happened. Yeah, we're going to talk about, maybe I'll talk about that a little bit, but I don't think so. But yeah. Zelina Vega ended up getting her match this week for the title against the one and only Chelsea Green, fellow Canadian. We love you, dear, but unfortunately, time for Zelina Vega to have that title for a little bit. Let's see what happens here. Now, I understand the fact that they did this on the day, the SmackDown after WrestleMania. I get that. But you could have also done it at Mania. You could have put Chelsea Green on Mania against Zelina Vega, and you could have had Zelina Vega win that title after Mania. I feel it might have been a bigger win. I get the fact that, hey, Bob asked about maybe that was a condition. I don't know. Right? I like to hope to God that wasn't. Zelina Vega's been in the company for quite a while. She's the one that stayed through all the things too, even through all the massive cuts, even when her husband got laid off. Right? Although she might have got cut too and came back quickly. Can't remember. Gotta double check that one. Comment down below if I'm wrong on that. But comment down below if you love Aleister Black. Anyway, she's back. She ends up winning the United States Women's title, right? A little bit of outside interference from Alba Fire, as well as, well, I almost want to call her that other name, right? But we're not going to. Okay. But yeah, Alba Fire, right? And what the hell's her name now? Scottish girl. Anyway, right? Piper Niven, right? She ended up, getting those two thrown out because they interfered with her. The referee caught her, right? She ended up hitting, I call it pop rocks, but they call it something else. It's basically pop rocks, right? Which Roxanne Perez does, right? She ends up winning the 1, 2, 3. Chelsea Green's out, new U.S. champion. It's great to see for Zelina Vega. Happy for her, right? She's been in that company for quite a while, like I said, right? She deserves it. It was a pretty good match for what it was, right? Just go back and take a look at it, right? Be the judge for yourself. But your Zelina Vega is your new women's U.S. champion. Great to see her for her. Let's see how long she holds the title for. Hopefully it's a decent run. Not something that's slow or fast. Hopefully it's a lot, maybe a couple months. Let's see. All right. Now we talk a lot about TLC, right? People have talked a lot about TLC over the years, Obviously, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys, they're like the innovators of this stuff, right? The insanity between 1 and 2. They did TLC last night, right? I'm not saying they haven't done it before, but they did TLC last night between DIY, the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits for the tag team titles. The Street Profits ended up walking out. Now, Street Profits ended up coming out. They were in Fort Worth, Texas there. Montez Ford came out dressed a little bit like HBK from the past. Dawkins didn't. Right? DIY comes down with Ciampa with his newly shaved beard. Because if you guys saw, right, he took a fall and damaged, underneath his chin there. Had to shave the beard off. And obviously, the Machine Guns came out. Right? With Alex Shelley wearing a lovely fur coat that had a skull in the back of it. And Saban just dressed the way he usually does. So, crazy match back and forth, though, folks. A lot of people went through a lot of tables, a lot of ladders, right? At one point, Tommaso Ciampa took, I believe it was Chris Sabin. No, not Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin or Montez Ford. It put him through a ladder. No. It was Angelo Dawkins. Dawkins took a lot of beating in this one, actually. At one point, too, Dawkins spears. They did kind of a throwback to when Jeff Hardy was holding on to the titles at WrestleMania X7 and Edge spears him to the ground. Except they didn't do it this time here. They kind of put Ciampa through a table. A lot more safely because obviously due to Ciampa's past neck stuff. All right? Street Profits ended up winning. But right before that, what's his name? Montez Ford climbs up to the top, right? Gets stuck by Johnny Gargano. Gargano brings him back down, puts him through the ladder, super kicks him. Montez goes limp, like so. Like, limp back, head back, like he just got the crap kicked out of him, right? Johnny Gargano climbs up on top of him, steps on his face a little bit, walks up to the top of it, trying to grab the belts off the thing. They seem to be like have a high, like really tightly on there, right? Chris Sabin comes up. They're trying to find on top. Eventually, Montez Ford sneaks through the under. It comes from underneath, right? Bashes both their heads off the top of the ladder. They both fall down. Montez Ford sits up, grabs the title. Montez Ford, along with Street Profits, with Andrew Dawkins, retain the tag team titles. Craziness. I suggest go back and watch it. It's like 45 minutes of pure mayhem. Really good. Maybe about a half hour. Either way, go back, take a look at it, be a judge for yourself. Is it one of the best TLC matches? Probably best one in recent memory. But you might even be able to put it up there with X7. So, hey, go take a look at it. Excellent match. These guys put a hell of stuff on their line there. They worked their asses off. They deserve all the praise in the world for these things, guys. Excellent work by all 6 men. For sure. Right? Sabin almost crapped himself when he saw Ciampa and Dawkins go through the table. He was like, oh. So did Shelley. At one point, Johnny Gargano, right, threw a chair right at Alex Shelley's face. And Alex Shelley went, ugh. Like he just like literally got smoked like in a cartoon, the Looney Tunes characters, and then fell over. Literally. It was good. Go take a look at it. You'll enjoy it. All right. Next on the blocket, we got a debut. Fraxium is now on the main roster. Nathan Frazier and Axiom have moved from NXT over to the main roster of SmackDown to invigorate that tag team division. That's going to be good. Because now instead of having 3 teams, you have 4 teams. This is more. More stuff you can do. Let's build on this stuff. It's exciting. It's good for everybody. Really is. Fraxium ended up coming out. Relatively decent ovation, I'd say. A lot of people, if you don't watch NXT, don't know who Fraxium is, go take a look. They were one of the longest serving tag team champions of recent memory in NXT. They just lost the belts recently to Hank and Tank at Stand and Deliver. Still can't believe that happened. Honestly. But anyway, they ended up beating Humberto and, well, Langarda. Let's be honest. Berto and Garza. That's how they beat him. The debut match. You know, you need to make these guys a little bit more competitive, I feel. Garza and Berto, because let's be honest, they're just floundering there. Bring them up more. Yes, that makes 5 tag teams. I know there's more than that, but hey, they really only feature 3. Let's be honest, right? Yeah, guys, kind of just jobbers. So let's make these guys, a lot of Fraction, more prominent. Instead of just being jobbers all the time. It's okay to have DIY lose. It's okay to have the Machine Guns lose. It's okay to have Street Poppers lose eventually for the tag team titles. I know they just won. I'm not saying don't take it off it yet, but let's be honest, right? We could do a lot more with all these tag teams. Really can. So let's do that. That's the public service announcement for the day. Drew McIntyre is going for the U.S. title now. They decided to take Drew McIntyre, it looks like, out of the title picture and put him in the U.S. title picture. Jacob Fatu came out to a huge ovation, wearing a backwards jersey looking crisscross. I don't know if they sell that jersey, but it's like a Raiders jersey. It says 42 on it, Fatu in the front, though. And in the back, it says NFL. Maybe. I can't remember. I can't really see if it makes out if it did say NFL, but it looked like it did. Right? I don't know if that's his own personal jersey or if that's just one of those things he just wore backwards or if that's a new thing. I don't know. But it looked really cool. It's a Raiders one. So, yeah, he's a Raiders fan by the looks of it. Right? Basically, how this whole thing came about was Jacob Fatu comes out of the ring with a fan ovation with Sosko, and Sosko immediately starts basically trying to take credit for everything. Oh, I'm the one who brought Jacob here. He's the reason why. I'm the reason why this. Jacob doesn't want to take any of that crap. He said, I was going to do it with it without you. And he did it, didn't he? Basically putting Solo in his place. We're going to see Solo versus Jacob Fatu at some point, folks. This is going to happen. Right? Which brought out LA Knight. Right? Who admitted, yeah, you beat me. Congratulations, right? You're BFT close. You're lucky you grabbed the hand on the rope at WrestleMania. All that jazz. Didn't make no excuses. And then Drew came out, which led to Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight match for the number one contender for the match, right? Get to the match there, right? Drew McIntyre is for the most part dominating LA Knight here, right? Oh, I guess a lot of force in here. This match for the most part ends up getting thrown out. I know I said number one contender, but it's probably gonna be Drew anyway. Okay, I know I jumped to conclusions there. Apologize. Drew ends up. So what happens is the match is that Soldier Sikoa ends up attacking LA Knight halfway through the match. Right, referee doesn't see it. He spikes him. Drew sees it. He's like, what should I do? Goes in to kick him. Instead, Damian Priest comes out. Whole match is thrown out. Right? In the midst of all this at one point, LA Knight is jabbering with Damian Priest because he said, you screwed my match, And Jacob Fuji lunges through the ropes, takes out both men. Takes out Priest, takes out LA Knight. Stands tall at the end. So Drew McIntyre is going to be probably the number one contender at some point. Maybe. Or maybe just to build something there. Maybe they're going to do Priest go for the U.S. title. Maybe they're going to do LA Knight again. Either way, I don't see anybody beating Jacob FATU right now anyway. So it's just just to have some fun with it. Jacob FATU is going to hold that title until he decides they want to do something different with him and move him to the main title picture. Probably similar they're going to do with LA Knight right now. Have him just finish off the feud with Jacob FATU. They're going to move him to the main roster. No, sorry, not main roster. The main title. And move on from there. Yeah. And Jacob FATU is going to beat the crap out of Solo at some point. Looking forward to it. Last but not least, we got a little bit of a taster, folks, of Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Now, Tiffany comes out, proclaims that's how she's the only Tiffany Stratton. She's not going to beat no Charlotte Flair. Jade Cargill comes out, and the look on Tiffany's face was not pleasing. Jade Cargill comes out, gives credit where credit's due, and says, you're going to find out why I came to WWE. It has to be a champion. Tiffany said, put your money where your mouth is. They did. It was a good back and forth match there. Obviously, you can tell there is still a little bit of greenery between both girls for the most part. But hey, it was a good overall match, which ended in a DQ. When Naomi comes out with her caution outfit, looked like it, and starts attacking Jade Cargill. Right? Tiffany ends up losing due to disqualification because obviously Jade Cargill gets attacked. Right? Gets beat up by Naomi. But remember I said returns? Remember I said that? Nia Jax returned and attacked Tiffany Stratton. She ends up, Armageddon her. Does her finisher on her. I call it the Armageddon. It's called something else. I like to call it Armageddon. It sounds more fun. Right? Nails her with it. Right? Gives the hole to the camera. There's a tongue sticking out like she's all happy that she did it. Right? We're going to get this rematch down the line here of Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. Right? I don't think Nia Jax is going to win this at all. I think Tiffany's going to hold that title for a bit. You might see Jade Cargill after she's done officially with Naomi because she thought she was done with Naomi. Probably be the one that takes that title off of Tiffany for a bit. Because eventually they're probably going to want to move and just have Tiffany obviously defend it against Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's eventually going to win that title, like I said. And then go back and forth probably next little bit. I'm okay with this. It's good. Backlash should be interesting. Maybe they'll do a four-way for Backlash with all four women. Probably not. It'll probably be more like Tiffany Stratton versus Nia, right? Naomi versus Jade again. Who knows? Either way, it was good. Either way, it's a good calling what they're going to do. See what they're going to set up Backlash and goes up there. Also in Backlash, they announced that John Cena will face Randy Orton in St. Louis. After John Cena came out to open the show, Randy tried to talk about him about how he met John. He's known John for 25 years. That's not the John Cena he knows. This is not right. He tried to tell him he needed to get some kids. Yeah. John didn't like it. He just crapped on Randy for that. Right? John eventually disagreed enough to the point where John attacks Randy. They agree to the match. John attacks him after that. Right? Before John could even get any other offense in, Randy RKO's him and stands tall with the title. And that match was signed for Backlash. So we're getting John Cena versus Randy Orton for Backlash. Looking forward to it. Probably won't be the end. Be interesting to see though if they only have John be a 1 month champion. If they do that, pull that trigger with Randy, they might, because John did say, right, even if Randy loses, he'll always only be a 14-time champion because the real champ is gone. They'll have some paper towel. It means you go back down to zero. Because John Cena says he wants to erase everybody from wrestling, ruin wrestling. Orton doesn't like that because Orton's lived his life through wrestling. His family's done through wrestling, right? When he even mentioned Cody saying wrestling has more than one royal family. The Ortons are part of that, right? You have the Rhodes, you have the McMahons, you have the Harts. There's a lot of royal families in there. The Ortons, the Flairs. So we'll see where this all goes, right? We'll see if Orton's going to be the one that takes that title from Cena. It may be. Cena may be only a 1 month champion. You don't know that. We don't know yet, right? It's not unheard of for John Cena to hold that title only for a month and lose it. He's done it numerous times over his days. If you look at our video, should pop up probably around here at some point, right? Or maybe even earlier, right? We did a title, right? Most decorated title world champions, right? Based on days. And John Cena was number one. And believe me, he had a few 24-hour title holds. He had a few month holds. So yes, it is possible that John could lose this title right away. Who knows? We'll see. But that was basically SmackDown in a nutshell after WrestleMania. Right? Pretty much there you go, folks. We got the return of Aleister Black. Nia Jax returned. Fraction debuted. Right? Jacob FATU just kills everybody. John Cena's facing Randy Orton. Dogs and cats living together. Ups and downs, side by sides. It's a new year in WWE. Let's see what this year brings us, and we'll go from there. Guys, thank you very much for watching, man. We appreciate it. That's the episode of DA Wrestling. Canadian content, folks, here, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube, Podbean, as well as Spotify. Follow us on all our socials. D-Lines 1991. He needs it. AMP 1982. I need it. DA Wrestling. We need it. Or DA Sports Pod. We thank you very much, guys. Have yourself a good one. That's SmackDown in a nutshell. Appreciate it all.